And we're live. All right.
Hello, live people.
Hello, and welcome to Splat Chat episode 7. As you can see by our guests here, we have quite the interesting, unique roster of Vtubers and PNGtubers with us. On my right, I have Hidorisu, Mystic, and Pastry. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm here. Alright, no, I'll do actual intro shit. Hello, it's your queen of monsters, Lady Hidorisu. I am a VTuber who streams whatever I'm in the mood to do. I've been playing comp on and off for a very long time. Unfortunately, you probably know me as the Blob player, the weapon that I've not used in years. I don't know. I guess I also say a lot of good shit.
Perfect. Yeah, let's go down the line. How about you, Mystic?
Well, my name is Mystic or Dragalia, or you can also call me Mystic Tactician. I go by either one of those three names. I am a lot of things. I am a retired top 1000 Fire Emblem Heroes player. I am a competitive Splatoon player. I am also a video editor. I am a Dread One Trick. I am the coach of Zero Magnum. And I just do a lot of things, like even VTubing as well. So it is a pleasure to be on this show.
Awesome. And for any of those who have been seen Splat Chat before, I'm sure you're familiar with Pastry, but for the sake of consistency, go ahead, Pastry. Tell everyone what you do and what you do in the Splatoon community.
Hello, everybody. Hello. My name is Pink Puffy Pastry. I have a huge love for everything competitive. I really like to look at the best players not only in the West, but also in Japan, and try to bridge the gap between the two scenes, because really we're all Splatoon players at the end of the day. I also love to do tournaments on stream. I love to look at people's viewers' replays and try to give them advice. In general, when it comes to competitive and lifting the team up, that's who I am.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Real quick though, I do want to talk about in terms of the first thing, because it is a little bit of a unique episode. We have I'm me being the only person in the flesh. Everyone else is in the virtual. I'm used that way. Right? It's a little different. I couldn't find a fourth VTuber, so if you're a competitive Splatoon VTuber, please hit us up. I was trying to find a fourth all week. But yeah, I might as well be the introductory person if you're a person in the flesh and you're trying to take a peek into the virtual world, especially on the competitive Splatoon side. Yeah, this is a good opportunity to. So I actually want to. What was that?
If anyone ever wants to get into VTubing and needs help finding a model artist or especially a rigger, because I know the biggest gap for a lot of people is the financial end. If anyone wants to get into that, just hit me up. Just hit me up on Discord and be like, I could help you find people, because I just know places to look. And I also know this one rigger who's really good.
Oh, okay.
And actually, he's pretty affordable if you want to go for a first time model, and also I could just help with setting up things.
Yeah,
because I know at some point I want to give aim for more resources to help VTubers in the Splatoon scene grow, but
yeah. I'm actually curious about that in that regard, because I want to know a little bit more about what brought y'all to VTubing or PNGtubing, or just that kind of sphere. Were you making content beforehand, or doing streams or anything Splatoon related, or was it you got the mod, your character, you stepped into your character and you were like, you know what, it's time to start playing comp Splatoon.
Yeah. So I can go first. I streamed and record for a while, also known as tablet between my thighs while playing. Shout out to the people who remember the between the thighs days. I eventually got a capture card, and I was I kind of decided one day I was going to stream with a VTube model because I'd watched a lot of VTubers. I'm going to look at VTubers, and I convinced a Splatoon artist to make a model for me. And after the whole process, I had got an entire new model because I realized I was trans, and ungodly amounts of money later because I chose not to do a cheap option. Yeah, I just started streaming with a model because I just prefer it a lot.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Also, yeah, I've been playing comp for a very long time. Like, holy fuck! I remember hearing like Ascension getting low ink banned. Like, I've been around that long. Oh, Splatoon 2 Undercover didn't exist yet. Oh god.
Oh god.
I know. I'm ancient and decrepit.
Yeah. So how long ago was that? I'm not too familiar. I'm more, I guess you would say, like new gen in a way. I know Splatoon 1 comp, there's like a gap, and then like the past 5 months.
God. I don't even remember at this point. I just exist. I am what the TOs refer to as an anomaly. I show up, outperform my seed, and then vanish for a month or two.
See, you got to keep them on their toes. You know, you got to remind them.
Exactly.
I don't even play Blob anymore. They can't clickbait me anymore.
That's true. That's true.
I know what you did, TOs. Listen, TOs, I know you're listening to this. I know what you fuckers did. Like, you put me on stream every time you could because I played Blob, okay? I'm on your shit. Like, it was like the most consistent shit ever.
That's funny.
Yeah, no,
well,
so,
when you play a unique weapon, you're gonna get like eyes on you. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, what they would do is they would put me against someone that like they knew I could beat round 1, so they could fucking stream me. That shit was crazy.
That's funny.
I don't care if this is a conspiracy at this point. I'm calling out on it anyways.
Hey, why not? Why not have it be?
That's crazy,
right?
It's probably not actually intentional, but like I'm just saying it is because it's way funnier that way.
Yeah, exactly. How about you two as well, Mystic and Pastry? I know Pastry, you mentioned, you know, doing Comp Splatoon on stream and whatnot. How was your journey? Did you do Comp Splatoon first, or did you just decide to do content with you know, your character?
It's so much fun. So I've had the idea of being a streamer for a long time. I did a little bit of stuff, but not for Splatoon, for Smash Bros. I actually played Smash Bros competitively back in the day, back in like 2018, 2020 type days, but then I just kind of got off once college started. But
Bayonetta.
when it comes to competitive Splatoon, it's something I've heard of for a while, but I never really took the plunge until like early 2023, around there. Mainly since it was like, well, I'm playing Smash. Why should I play Splatoon? Like I can just play Smash. But then I was like, I'll give it a shot. Why not? I like the game a lot. I hate the meta online. There's thieves everywhere. You know, let's try it, you know? And that actually lined up pretty well from when I actually like got my PC for the first time, because I didn't have a PC for a really long time, so I couldn't stream properly. Like, well, I did try to do like a few test streams, but like they were like 15 FPS. If you tried to like watch the gameplay, it would look like a PowerPoint slideshow from like 2004. So type of thing.
Yeah.
Did you also have the Xbox mic?
Did I get Xbox? Yeah, my
Xbox mic. Let's go.
It was not good. But
hey, listen,
when I finally got a PC, true, that's true. Like when I was really happy when I got a PC, because like I didn't immediately like go from PC to stream, but I was like, you know, I don't want to use a camera. I currently don't look how I want to look right now. You know, let's try some VTubing stuff. And then I looked at the price for VTubing stuff, and
if you
$300, awesome, great stuff. That's what I like to see. So I took the cheaper option. I don't have like a model that's like tracked by a camera or anything like that. But pretty much when I got into streaming, I also was into VTubing at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, let's start the pastry fund. Let's get pastry a 3D model. Join these two other lovely ladies in the 3D world instead of PNGs. And speaking
I'm
of,
gonna like bob my head and stuff.
Yeah. Truly a luxury. But how about you, Mystic? Since you were one of the 3D ladies here,
yeah,
you know,
okay,
how's your journey been?
Yeah, well, as I stated before, like I am a retired top 1,000 competitive Fire Emblem Heroes player, and that was actually where I got my beginnings. I started streaming in 2018. That's where like pretty much I got my beginnings. Like started off small. Like I was just like so like I didn't want to do like any mic streaming like at all. And then like people like just told me like, hey, like why don't you just like go ahead and stream with your mic? And like I ended up doing so, and like I just like got the confidence and got like a lot of people, just a lot of eyes on me back then, because like as y'all might know and might tell by like the outfit and the getup, I am a huge Fire Emblem and Dragalia Lost fan, which is what my VTuber model is based off of. So those are like my beginnings. Then like 2018, 2019, I ended up meeting Cool, who played for Enix at the time, but now like Cool like is doing his own thing. So pretty much like that's how like I knew about Splatoon from Cool, because like Cool and we used to play like a lot of Fire Emblem Heroes together. We used to play a lot of Dragalia Lost together. And then like Splatoon and like just other games, like we used to just like play like a lot of games together. But Splatoon was just like the last thing that I just never really got into, because I tried out the special demo of Splatoon 2 in 2019. I didn't like it because I played on flip and stick controls. So yeah,
yeah, that changes a lot, right? It does.
Just like set me off. And then you know what? I came back in 2022 because Chugga Convoy like ended up streaming. Well, not streaming. Like he actually did a Splatoon 2 Let's Play. And like he told, like he was saying in like one of the episodes, like try like just playing motion. Like it's gonna suck at first, but whatchamacallit, you're gonna end up like loving it and like just going back. So I bought Splatoon 2 like back then, like April of like 2022, like right before Splatoon 3 was like just about to launch, and like I played motion, like you said. And like I absolutely just could not put the game down, like at all. Like I sunk in. Let me check my Switch like playtime.
Oh God, let's not do a Switch Splatoon 2 hours, please. I don't need the world to know.
Oh my gosh, it's funny.
Okay, it's fairly tame. It's like 675 hours. My Splatoon 3 playtime is like far worse. Like I've been playing Splatoon 3 like since launch.
Oh yeah,
so you were like every single day I have been playing Splatoon 3. But that's for awesome. Like the VTubing side of things, like everything just kind of panned out. Like I was in contact with artists who wished to remain anonymous. But pretty much I was in contact with them. One of them ended up giving me like a birthday present. And I just took that art piece that gave me, and pretty much it just went from there. So this is how I have this model that I have right now. And I do have another model in the works, but I do need to get that rigged still.
Yo, I know.
This is pretty much where we are today. I know it's a long story, but yeah, this is where we are today.
That's awesome.
God,
Also, yeah.
Everyone has their stories behind their model. Mine was drawn on a fast food napkin. It was drawn on a fast food napkin, and an updated version came out. And then by the time the artist was like done the sketch, Honkai, a Genshin Impact character was released, had the exact outfit.
Oh, that's funny.
We both screamed "fuck." Remade the entire outfit.
Oh my god!
And that was my first outfit. This outfit that I have right now, which hold up, the outfit I have right now, which I can just shrink. This was all my model artists.
Oh,
I just kind of let her cook.
You cooked indeed.
Oh right, I should also take my jacket off. By the way, it's also getting hot in here, so
it's
take my jacket
these heat
off.
waves are crazy. The weather has been crazy. Something global warming. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, I got the jacket off. They look so raw.
Hey, it's about the summer outfits. It's like the limited time characters in gacha games, and you know, I'm sure you had a lot more time for Splatoon, given that Dragalia went offline. So it really is lost now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it really isn't lost. I'm gonna miss that game.
I wanted to get into it.
Exactly.
It makes you cry. That game makes you cry for multiple reasons.
Exactly.
Well, I can't say I designed my own model. I just kind of ended up with this one. But speaking in that regard, sometimes y'all decide to leave the virtual realm and end up in some in real life places, surprisingly. And one of them, for one of you, specifically Hidorisu, ended up at Get On My Level Forever. How was that?
I said, you want the full story of how it came to be? Because this shit's hilarious.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, me and my friend Parachu were all planning to go to a LAN together. You know, we wanted to meet up for a while. Everything was prepared, and then COVID hit. And then another LAN happened, and then Trump happened, so I can't go to the US anymore.
Oh, that's fair.
And then Gommel finally happened. We're like, holy shit, we can meet up. So
Canada, yeah.
We mainly went to Gommel with the intent of meeting up, as our Gommel was our excuse to meet up.
Yeah.
And there's like an entire server for like people who want to go to LANs. Like you can kind of figure out a lot of LANs there, and any big LAN you can easily, there's a chat where you can find people to play with at the LAN, and people are very willing to play with people who are there. And you're like, if you are going to a LAN, just say that you're playing, and someone will be willing to play with you. Like, we literally had someone's parents playing who never touched the game before. Like,
really? Their parents flew in? That's
don't
crazy.
think that you're not able to go to a LAN. Someone's mother was playing the game with a team. Like,
that's funny.
That woman could not aim, but she sure played the game.
Oh yeah,
that woman picked up a controller for the first time, but dear God, she had fun.
That's crazy. That's awesome. See, that's the propaganda we need to be pushing. You can play on LAN.
Your mother can too.
No excuses. Yeah, your mother can too. Over in Gatorland, actually, because that's like the LAN that's closest to me. Dat kid of Hypernova. It's so funny because, you know, he plays with his dad, dad. Unsurprisingly named, and I remember showing up to my first Gatorland. I thought it was so cute that they played on a team together. I was like, Dad of the Year right there. And he even his dad, even when Dad Kid plays on a different team, I still see his dad play like on a pickup team. I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I can't say, like, this was a lot, like, this Gommel specifically was a lot of people's first LAN, and I got to talk a lot with, like, a lot of people who were, you know, their first LAN, a lot of players who weren't really confident in themselves and their ability to execute, but we all had fun. We all had fun playing the game. I personally think 2-player 1 controller was the peak of it all.
Yeah, I heard you won that bracket, right?
Oh, so we can talk about the main bracket later. I want to talk about this tomfuckery. So the day before I have to go for Gommel, me and Parrot get on call. We're like, okay, what are we gonna play for it? And we were talking for a while, and then I brought up a funny option. On your Switch, if you press the home button and go to settings, you can rebind your controls.
Oh.
So what happened is, like the like the directional buttons at the bottom left of the left Joy-Con?
Mm-hmm.
We rebound 3 of those to jump, shoot, and sub.
Oh my god.
In other words, every button available to a single player was available on a singular controller other than move camera with right stick.
That's
so
crazy.
Theoretically, yes, you can play a game of Splatoon with the right Joy-Con and only the right Joy-Con because it has motion. I don't suggest it, but you sure as hell can. So we thought after this, what is the funniest weapon we could play? If you open the stream that it happened on, you can see set number 1, a dually squelchers moving as if a top Japanese player was in control. That shit was hilarious. Now, Siren, the rules of this event, by the way, were do whatever you need to do, just no hacking your Switch. No Switch 2.
Yeah.
Siren found out about our tomfuckery. And it's like, okay, that's a bit much. And to be honest, agreed. It was a lot. Like, it was the most brutal any set that will ever happen in Splatoon history.
like you just move it around like a 4K, like you're moving around like Comment Child, and the opponent's like just picked up the controller basically. It's like, how are they doing that?
Yes. All I had to do was aim.
See, that makes it, yeah. Were you the right Joy-Con or the left Joy-Con?
I took right Joy-Con because my friend's really good at positioning. I'm really good at mechanics. Like, in my friend group, I'm literally just the mechanics monkey.
Okay, that makes sense.
So afterwards, we couldn't go dually squelch anymore because our funny thing was up and we had to pick an actual weapon. So like half the event at that point, we went towards Pro, the one with missiles, which came to define the event.
Oh, yeah. So I heard.
Everybody started running Frozen Pro and a blaster. Emphasis on a blaster. Nobody ran the same one. We ended up winning the event with me, Parachu, Femi, and God, what's her name? I forget. It starts with an S.
Sluggy?
Skids. It starts with. I'm pulling it up right now. I have it written down. It is Shuds. There you go.
There you go.
Shuds is the twin. Yeah. Shuds was on aiming. Femi was on movement. Para was on movement for us, and I was aiming.
Wait, so let me get this straight. They were twins?
Yes. They were twins.
That's a type of cheating on its own. I think that needs to be banned too.
We had twins, and people have been friends for like 5 years now. Versus a lot of people who were not prepared for us to sweat the event. We just thought it would be hilarious to sweat this 2-player 1 controller, which, may I say, the hardest part about the event is not what you think it is. Not the moving around, not the aiming. That shit was found out real fast. It's climbing up a singular box.
Really?
I kid you not. The greatest rival to all teams was throwing clams and trying to...
It was clams?
Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, I forgot to mention. The event only ran weird maps that we wouldn't see in the tourney. It was Rainmaker and clams only in 2v2s.
That's funny.
So imagine moving up to the clam basket, you have a power clam, and you're not throwing it because you don't have the button to do it. That button belongs to the other player.
That's funny. Wait, you said it was 2v2? Like, well, 2v2 as in like one controller?
4 players, 2 characters.
Oh, on each team?
Yep.
Oh,
that's why the meta very quickly devolved into Frozen Pro and a blaster.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 1v1.
Blaster because none of the Slayers could actually hit enough shots to kill anything. And F Pro because you could fight back against the blasters, give enough paint, and it turns out missiles are very good in 2v2s.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, the side event devolved into an expedition of why Frozen Pro is arguably the one of 2 viable supports right now. Oh, I guess 3.
Yeah. I think there's plenty of supports. I think there are plenty of supports, but especially if you're playing two people, one controller, I would feel a lot more comfortable on a Frozen Pro as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess talking more about the main event. So we can talk about my funny little situation because I didn't impact the bracket too much. So the day after 2-player 1 controller, I lent my Switch to someone to play some friendlies. I was tired. I didn't feel like. If you ever decide to do that, people going to LANs, check your fucking controls after. That's all I'm going to say. I played the event. I play 5-5, by the way. I played the entire event with negative sense and did not know why Stamper felt unusable.
Yeah,
I thought it was nerves. It wasn't. It was literally my controls were not functional.
You still made it pretty deep in silver bracket, right?
Yes, which is its own story. Okay, so everybody who made it to silver had a whack ass call. We had no cooler and 2 supports, and I ran Explo, by the way, during the event because I couldn't play Stamper. So we had 2 supports, Explo and S-Blast, which was a comp. It was not a good comp, but it was what we had. Like, I could get into wire comp ended up, but let's just say last minute people leaving and other situation that occurred that has been dealt with. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, no, pretty happy with silver. But I think the most interesting thing about day, like, first off, before every set begins, holy fuck, people are loud. Like, there is so much energy in that small venue.
Awesome.
Like, there's like 16 chairs, 16 like screens, a fuck ton of wires. So like, you can only hear your team and the game the entire time. And before every match, you'd see like people rounding up to like what side they were cheering for, and you'd see the players. If you go to the shoal, there's a spot in the shoal like that you can get on you can stand like on a ledge that's next to the glass. So like everyone's just trying to get to that one ledge and just hang out there.
Oh really? Like because you could see each other, right?
No, because we'd be looking down at the people who didn't make the jump.
Oh,
yeah, no, that's what everyone would do. And then you just have like and then the sets played out, which there was a lot of 3-0s, but I genuinely think the most interesting set of the day, and I don't think this is gonna be talked about. Moonlight lost to Wyvern on day 1, by the way.
Oh yeah,
like convincingly lost.
Who was Wyvern?
I don't know if they're an actual team. They were called that at Gommel. Okay. I'm calling them Wyvern.
That's fair.
Moonlight, of course, ended up winning the events against Chara's pickup, which Chara's pickup, we had to play against them day 1.
Oh gosh. Yeah,
it actually didn't go that bad. We actually put up a good fight.
I was about to say, how is that? Yeah, like that must have been pretty interesting.
We put up a good fight considering I was on Explo, a weapon I had just started using for the event. I think we could have maybe done better, but a lot of that event came down to I had the wrong controls and I was unaware.
Yeah,
which is really bad considering most of my controls come from mechanics. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Were there any other top level teams or even high level teams that ended up showing up to the event that were kind of like
Yellow Jacket?
Oh,
Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, I heard about them.
Yeah, they're cool.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I heard that bracket was pretty interesting, especially the grand finals. I know a lot of people were like, the teacher has been taken down by his students. I know that's what people said. But tell us a little bit more before we talk about our next event. Like, tell us a little bit more about the energy of the event. I know you mentioned it's nice to finally have more events in Canada specifically. I know there was like Battle of
Columbia.
Yeah, British Columbia. I always think like Bikini Bottom. I'm sorry. Battle for Bikini Bottom. That's what I think of, but I know that's not in Canada.
Okay, never mind. I'm not blaming other places. Never mind.
Yeah, but besides that, like you find Canada is finally getting like I'd say a more premier event and it's pretty nice because in general, I had other friends who went to the event, but like for like Smash reasons. How is it finally having more events across the border?
I mean, I actually get to go to events. It's great.
That's awesome.
Also, I will say, like, a lot of people are going to ask you to sign posters, by the way. Holy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, great job from Siren to, like, the event was actually ahead of schedule a lot, thanks to what Siren was doing. So.
That's rare to hear.
On the player side, everything went perfectly. So if anything went wrong, we don't know about it. And we likely never will.
Jeez. Big shout outs to Siren for running that like a ship then.
Yeah,
like the captain of a crew.
The only downside to the event was that the elevators broke because it was not ready for any Smash players. And a quote from my sister: "I never want to be in an elevator of Melee players ever again."
Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's funny.
Don't understand. Like, I have never seen someone so terrified of an elevator in my life. If you go to LAN, please, if you go to a LAN, take your shower, put on your deodorant, even if you don't think you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and after the LAN, please shower, please get ready. Like, number one, you're in a room with a lot of people, both, and also while you're at a LAN, you can watch other games. Like, the setup next to us had Strive, Brand Blue. There was like a giant Street Fighter thing across. There was also like a player dressed up as Asuka from Guilty Gear, which, but just for context, you don't need to know who that is. All you need to know is their left eye is completely blocked off by an eye patch.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember that.
This motherfucker's out here playing like a pirate.
Hey, I mean, if you think about it, you play by feel. There are people who play by feel.
They had like so like the entire time you're playing Splatoon, if you don't. By the way, you do need headphones with a jack because what they do is they basically connect you to like this audio port so that you can only hear the game and your teammates, which thank God, because the fighting game players are loud, which reasonably so. Mm-hmm. But like, you need those headphones. Bring headphones with the audio jack. Also, don't play Joy-Cons. Oh my God, they are like, there's so much mechanical interference there that your Joy-Cons are. Just get a pro controller.
So you would actually say wired? I heard that like when it comes to like wired.
No, throw that wire out the window. Oh my.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say the wire's not good.
Like in general, do not play wired on Splatoon 2. Period. It adds like 3 frames of input lag. Don't do it, please. This game already has like 6 of those. We don't need 9.
We don't
need 9 frames of input lag. Oh my God.
Exactly. Yeah. So I want to extend the question about just talking about like lands and how amazing like the environment and the vibes are there. Do any of you two, Mystic and Pastry, plan on going to cross the line into the flesh and have some fun?
I've already actually been. I went to MomoCon 2024 last year. Nice. And that's where I actually placed 5th out of 10th in the event. Speaking of which, go to MomoCon 2026, please and thank you. Like, I really, 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 really want to fight some more like stronger opponents like next time, because like it is like absolutely just something I want to do. But on the topic of MomoCon 2024. That's where I met like a whole bunch of people in this community, like amazing people in the community, such as Lexi, who else? Sluggy. There's like quite a bit of people that I met. Like I actually also like got to talk to Power too. So quite a bit of people went to MomoCon 2024. It was what was the team's name? I think it was called Florida Man that like ended up.
Wow, Florida Man showing up to a Georgia event is crazy. Across state lines.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much. No. Actually, no. I don't think it was Florida Man. No, it was Swan House Uno that won the event. So there was that. It was like a pickup with like Soren, Splatver, Bronze. I think those are the players in particular, but like they ended up like winning the event. But Side note of like some of like the shenanigans that I got to at MomoCon 2024. So we ended up having to fight Lexi's team, like, and we ended up fighting Lexi's team on stream. So the TLs there said like, pretty much if this set like just happens like super quick, like just like goof off for like 2 hours, like y'all have that privilege. So yeah, the set happened super quick. We got 0-4 on stream really bad. So there was that. But we ended up doing like just like exhibition match on stream. Those VODs are not saved, by the way. Like those VODs are like just straight up lost to time, so you can't see them anymore.
There's so much Splatoon lost media out there. It's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much we were just having like a blast on stage. We were doing stuff like stupid stuff like cracking only, like flipping laser tag with chargers, and like actually ended up like getting like a nasty like trick shot, and then Lexi ends up hitting a flipping collat on me, like on my team. Like, oh my goodness, I'm getting one up. But yeah, we had a good time. We had a blast like at MomoCon 2024. Like it was an amazing event. But yeah, definitely go to MomoCon 2026. I hope to be seeing some of y'all there this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention for the Gommel thing. I need to bring up one set in particular that I played. So before this, we knew who our opponents were. So I picked Pen to counterpick them. The game loads up. 4 bamboozlers.
20 pew pew.
Yes, it was the exact members that you were thinking. All 4 members of 20 Pew Pew were on the other setup. Iki and Wisdom were right there, sitting in front of me. And I want you to guess who was watching the set. You're not prepared for this because I don't even know if they said they went to Gommel. Yeah, Shaq was just there watching, by the way.
Oh yeah, Shaq's Canadian.
Shaq was there. By the way, Shaq just showed up day 2.
That's awesome.
I don't know why. I don't know how. He was just there.
It's like a celebrity showing up. He's
Bro just showed up, watched a few sets, and dipped.
I mean, I would too. Why not? Right?
He was there to actually just spectate like fighting game stuff.
Oh, okay.
From what I knew. Also, he might have just come for like just to enjoy his time with people, because like,
yeah, of course.
I know a lot of us went to like Niagara the day of 2P1C. There was the food court on the other side of the place, which, oh my god, there was so much food. Yeah. And then of course the one store that got talked about, the Pride store, where you could buy any hat you wanted.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Nice. Every hat possible. Yeah. Did they have the Fish Fear Me?
No. No, they had like Pride hats. No, Pride hats.
I think that in my book, at least for the Woolowoos out there, that's a fire Pride hat. But yeah. But yeah, how about you, Pastry? Do you have any LAN plans in the future, or even of the past?
It's interesting. The big thing I want to work on is just how I look first before I go to a LAN. I know, it's a wizard thing and the community is really accepting and all that, but I want to look stunning. I want to look like a supermodel out there. That's my goal. But once I get that settled down, definitely want to tune into LANs. I feel like there's a lot of things that I could provide there. There's a lot of just great moments in general. The energy consistently seems really high when it comes to LANs compared to other events, which just makes sense because it's like, oh my god, I've talked with you for 5 months and we finally can touch face to face. Like, oh my, like there's a lot of that energy there. So yeah, it makes sense how. So it sounds really enjoyable. But there are a couple LANs next to me. Like I am I'm Florida. I'm currently in the alligator territory.
What's up?
There's actually an alligator right next to me.
What's up? Sorry.
Oh my god, that logo. Holy fuck.
It was the Gatorland entrance. I loved it.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't. This isn't a Smash podcast, but like I used to. Oh my god, I used to go to like South Florida locals. There was one time I went to a Central local. It's such a sweaty environment. I'm for it. I'm all for it.
It is, especially the Florida Heat for sure. Those accusations about sweaty Smash players, it's like in Canada, that's way colder than down here. I'll tell you right now, the sweatiness is 10 times worse. I will tell you right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to lens space, see what TM. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, definitely right. We could skip this arc we're in right now, and then we'll see, or we go up. I'm never been to Canada, so that's gonna be fun. One day I'll go.
Everyone needs to come to Gommel next year.
I'll play for sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm planning to go to Gommel next year if it's in the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But yeah, of course.
Yeah, well,
yeah. Go for it. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, if you do go to Gommel, this is a fun little tip. Bring money that you're willing to spend. There's a lot of. I want you to know the entire there were not not many artists sold out. The Splatoon section sold out very quickly.
Sure.
Wow.
Holy, it went fast.
We love
That's
our
just
artists.
any lane in general. Like, just bring money that you're willing to spend.
True.
Yeah,
True.
like I know personally. Shout out to Saltwind, by the way, because before Gommel even happened, I was talking on Saltwind like, hey, like this, they sold like these crocheted squid plushes.
Oh,
I have one right
so
now.
Cute.
Like I posted about it on Blue Sky, just like this little like purple crocheted one.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $15. I think it was like $15. I gave Saltwind 20 and said keep the rest.
That's amazing.
In reality, I was just too lazy to ask for change. So I'm like, fuck it. Sure.
Yeah, why not, right? I mean, I love tipping a good artist. I feel that.
We don't. My tipping with art. I would love to see people's reaction to how I tip artists Sunday.
They're like, whoa, you just gave them the change like that?
I may have bought an artist an entire meal once through just tips.
You know what? That's based. That's based. I found it. I found the little creatura.
Yeah, when someone spends like half a year working on your model, you tip them. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
this model I have right now, with like all of its configurations. This model took half a year to draw.
Oh.
Because of some complications that came up, and Honkai Star Rail saying "fuck us" and taking the original design.
was it? What's her name? Was it? Oh my gosh!
I wouldn't know.
I don't play it. So
I don't play it.
Yeah.
The only gacha game I play is the horse one that just came out.
Everyone's been playing that.
horse. Thank goodness.
Horse.
I gotta try it one day. But yeah. But you know, I think going in person is an amazing thing. Everyone should at least try it. Check out your local Splatoon local. There are some coming up, but we'll talk about that later. But I want to talk about, because going back to the virtual realm, y'all's
one last thing before we talk about
before
we move off this. For people who are camera shy or just don't want to be put on stream, you can straight up ask them not to. Like, there were two people. I can bring up one of them because people know Chara was there. Obviously, Chara was asked to put on camera as minimal as possible. There was another person who I won't mention because I don't know if they've said they were there, but you can straight up ask to just not, like, they to never have your face seen. You will they will only ever see your gameplay.
Yeah.
If you're worried about that stuff, I got you.
Yeah, true. I've done prod specifically for Gatorland too, and yeah, we always try to honor it and not get them on the cameras if we could avoid it. Although I feel like a lot more people have gotten a lot more comfortable with the cameras as of late, so that's good.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
It's just me secretly telling trans fans and trans masks that it's okay to go to events.
True.
I'm just calling out you trans people in particular.
This is a specialized PSA.
Go to lands.
But yeah, going back to the virtual space that y'all, reside in. This past weekend, not only did we have GOMO, but we also had In the Zone 44, which was completely online.
Player 9/11.
Yeah, and wait, what? Sorry.
Support player 9/11.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. So this event was extremely competitive. Meanwhile, everyone was having fun in Toronto. Moonlight did not appear, obviously, because they were elsewhere. But we still had a lot of teams. What did you guys, take from it? I know we had some interesting upsets happen, especially towards the end of the tournament, that ended up breaking some streaks. If you guys want to dive into that.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing I noted is the lack of the support role. There were two support-ish weapons that showed up. We had the midline Frozen Pro, which you hand NA a shooter with missiles, they're going to play the shooter with missiles.
Yeah,
it does not matter how good that thing is. They're going to get their body pillow of F Pro, and they're going to sleep with that thing. And then, of course, Doolies, which is just aggro with good paint and entry special. Which, that thing is incredible, which we're kind of moving towards a more aggressive meta in the way of, like, you want a lot of your slots to be able to contribute to fighting in ways that things like End Splash just cannot even consider. And also by running more combat-oriented supports, things like Stamper, Bucket, and S-Blast have more fighting buddies. So we're kind of seeing that. And, of course, the JP Brush player, when I say Brush, I mean all three of them. That man played Russian roulette with the brushes, spun the wheel, and said, "I want that one." And he went that one. I don't understand his decision making, but he cooked, so he won.
Yeah, there were two brushes in top 4, which is crazy.
Yeah, there were two. And then I saw Paintbrush. I'm like, oh no. Me just casually pointing towards the Paintbrush exploit video I made that lets you stop swinging faster.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, please. I had to deal with Chara, asking me, 50 questions in my DMs. Please go watch it. That shit is stressful. You don't understand?
No, yeah.
Before Chara arrives at your door, you gotta lock in.
You gotta lock in, yeah.
We're talking about Charlies, but I need to talk with her briefly. So, it was 10 minutes after I posted the video. Chara does not fall... Chara is not subbed to me on YouTube, by the way. My video goes in his subscription, and within minutes, I am 10 minutes of uploading this thing. I'm DM'd by Chara. Like, hey, I want to talk about the thing you just released. I'm like, what the I completely forgot about the paintbrush thing at this point. Like, what the fuck did I do?
Wait, was it this DM? Did you just see his face?
No, I saw just a DM icon.
Yeah, the profile pictures.
And then we talked about it. We talked about how the exploit works and how to make it more easy. And Char also got a clip so that he could share it with his viewers. That's so awesome. That more people could see it. Which I'm gonna be real. I just want more Paintbrush players to see it because it helps them.
Are you a Paintbrush fan?
Yeah, it's cool.
No, I'm a professional Paintbrush hater. I was trying to actually find a way to make the weapon worse.
That's crazy.
I was trying to help out the Houston region with their problem of a certain famous Paintbrush player dominating their region.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I may have accidentally done the opposite.
Yeah, I think you definitely did the opposite. I've even noticed it in my games more often. So.
But yeah,
crazy.
Speaking of which, they did go paintbrush in the event.
Okay, nice.
The paintbrush they went was not the one you would think of, like the curling set. They went the beacon missile set for I forget the name of the map. It's the apartment complex map. Yeah, that one. Flounder.
Why was I blanking on it? Yeah, Flounder Heights.
Apartment complex. Overpaid apartment complex. Yeah. Yeah, so they needed like an entry special. So I guess out of the brushes, Paintbrush makes the most sense. It's the only one that comes with a special, but it was like the first time I've ever like actually seen someone voluntarily pick that one over the others.
Yeah, because people really like the Trizuka one, right?
No, that one has never seen play. You play vanilla because
no, people actually like it. Surprisingly.
Wait, what? Sorry, every paintbrush I know of.
I'm so serious.
Huh? Yeah, the only paintbrushes I know of all play vanilla because vanilla helps give it entry because it struggles to move around. So curling is really good for it because it actually doesn't play that far from roller in a way, from what I've seen, or at least what I've been explained in DMs by like 3 paintbrush players.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I only see the Trizuka one in my games.
They actually do like the Splash Ball Zuka kit.
Yeah, I haven't had enough time like watching it, so I can't really say much on that kit. But yeah, we did get to see the funny missile one. And also, if you're a fan of Inkbrush Nouveau, go watch those games. Oh my god, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, they're really good. Brush players are eating right now.
I mean, yeah,
they really are. I feel like
I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess having more aggressive comps allows Inkbrush to kind of fill in that slot that would normally be taken by the support weapon. Like with F Pro, for example, you can afford to have an Inkbrush, which Goss on F Pro, which I don't know much about the other players. I know a lot about Goss. Great guy. I thought he was a bucket player because that's what I've had to play against him. But
he's there a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he played bucket for like a little bit, but like I primarily know him because like he used to play like 52 gal.
Yeah. Oh no, I just know him for bucket because I played some friendlies with him. Not much, but a few. So. Also, dear God, Pen is everywhere.
Pen never
there
left.
was one clause 96. I will say that.
It showed up.
It never really left.
We are in Pen's world, and we need to be thankful that it lets us live.
Exactly.
Like, anytime anyone ever says Pen isn't the #1 weapon in the game, the very next tournament is going to be like 10 Pens in like top 8 and top 10. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, Pen.
Exactly.
Pen is here to stay, and even though people may hate it, it is holding this game together. So
it is the glue. It is the glue that keeps this game together. I feel like.
Yeah,
you can't really escape it. I mean, people have been trying.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe like Rapid Pro get its like cooler cost reduced and Edit able to compete with Pen, because we see Edit from time to time, but dear God, is it like not as prevalent as Pen?
Yeah, for sure.
Dear God, because like most of like the West is just like Charger players anyways.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be so for real.
I mean, people like the long range boom boom gun, you know? What can I say?
Honestly, I gotta talk about the brushes a bit because there is some crazy stuff that happened. Like, yes, we did see the Zuka Pain, and you know, like Grand Finals was taking like a ton of the Inkbrush Nouveau, which is okay interesting because before in when they fought in winners finals, the Mia pickup, which Mia is the player that played on Hippo, like their pickup name was just like a hippo emoji, so Hippo. Against Milky Way, he used a lot of the vanilla Octobrush in winners finals, and what we saw was something absolutely disgusting. Like, you can do some filthy things when it well, actually, oh, sorry, wrong side here. I'm actually speaking of the losers finals here, where Phoenix's pickup with that kid. Yeah.
Okay.
Where they were able to they were able to fight Milky Way, and yeah, we saw some filthy things out of that kid on that Octobrush. The main thing is that when Octo pops Zipcaster and there is a crab on the map, that crab is gone. Just say sayonara to that crab. Like, it got to the point where Jared started using QR on a support's gun just solely because that kid was like, hey, you popped your special. That's cool. You're dead now.
Yeah, exactly.
It was honestly a beauty to see. And there, like, in general, that kid did a really good job in losers finals of playing around either something like a crab tank that would get popped, like on the Barnacle game there. They had their cooler, they had their crab. Jared saw a timing to dive the crab, but then bam, all of a sudden the Octopus is there. It's like, no, you're not diving my backline today. That's not happening. In general, you can bait so well with that gun. It's crazy.
Now we just need to get him an actual build instead of him running run speed on brush.
Oh, what do you mean? Run speed goes crazy.
Exactly, true. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we are seeing brushes a lot more. Like, is it the secret truth that nobody wants to talk about? I mean, I assume people think brushes are good, but like we've been seeing a lot of performances with brush.
I mean, I think that brushes have always been good. It's just like this game in particular just kind of restricts that because people will talk your ear off about like this game's map design. Oh, like it's Tetris Piece Central, but it's just like that's just the harsh reality of the situation. It doesn't like let brushes like thrive. So to see two of them in top 4 in a zones only tourney is kind of crazy to think about. I'm not gonna lie, because brushes have had it rough in this game for like so long. So seeing them finally do well, like in this kind of context, is just absolutely kind of insane, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing like what you call it, the future for like brush players. I really do hope like the brush one tricks like don't like end up swapping off of it.
Oh, they're not going.
Like I know like One Wing Akira, like he is brush one trick that was currently swapping to the calculator and now dualies, the Twinkle Splat dualies. From what like I see, but for the most part, like I really just like kind of hope like those like brush players like don't like just keep the faith. Honestly, like I think the weapon has like a lot of potential, like especially like the ink brush with the hammer kit. Like I think that thing has like a lot of potential.
Yeah, we've been seeing that one a lot for sure.
I mean. The problem with ink brush has always been how do you fit it on a comp with splash, you know? But now it's like, oh, splash isn't mandatory. Now Frozen Pro comps exist. Oh, and hey, look, the slot that we've been trying to fit ink brush on is suddenly available. So like, I think unironically, it's not that ink brush got better, it's that it finally has a weapon that can pair with that isn't going to hurt the comp. And I think Frozen Pro is exactly what brush players have been waiting to see. A support weapon that isn't short ranged, which, I mean, to be fair, we've been kind of lacking one for like multiple years now, and finally having one, we're gonna start seeing a lot more unconventional comps now that we have like the actual option to like, you know, try out new things. And Brush is paired well with it because like Pro wants to be playing with things that want to move up a lot to pair off its missiles, and Brush kind of does that a lot. So. Yeah, Pro's pretty happy to have a weapon like that alongside it, though whether or not Ink Brush ends up being the popular pick with Frozen Pro, not really sure how it'll end up, but we'll see.
We shall see, but I think this is a good preview. I mean, every day, you know, since patch 10.00, you know, we've been seeing a lot of beta developments, a lot of people trying new things. I mean, it's so interesting seeing like different weapons be like, oh my god, this is the truth for like a week, and then, you know, for example, like I don't think we saw. Was there a lot of Rattler Splatling mini?
No.
Yeah, there wasn't. So,
no, Rattler is one of those weapons that everyone agrees is good, but no one knows how to play mini.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Pretty much. The awkward situation of this weapon's good, but no one wants to pilot it.
Yeah, I think Frozen Pro is one of those weapons that is the truth, and I just didn't get it wasn't as outrageous. It was just too solidly good to pass up. And I mean,
also,
exactly.
Yeah, to add to that, like a lot of I personally know a lot of people who have been looking for something that fits the role F Pro does for so long. And finally, all those players who've been waiting on something have that something. So, like,
pretty much.
We're going to see a lot of players, like, change their weapon to F Pro because finally they have that weapon they've been looking for like, multiple years. So, like, and also a lot of players who've been wanting to play a lot more of these short-range weapons, which have been popping up a lot more. we now have like another support to pair with it that doesn't also like consume the short range slot. So yeah, double midline's less popular now, which it makes comp building a lot more interesting because it's not just pick 3 of the good midlines, pick 1 short range shooter, and pen shows up as your last.
Yeah, kind of mandatory. Right?
A splash pen bucket is no longer dominating every event, which is nice.
Yeah, we have losing, right? It's in grands.
No, yeah. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bucket pen is still everywhere.
Yeah.
That combo is really good for many reasons. And no matter how the meta shifts, I think it's going to be around. Like, bucket's an insanely good weapon. Pen's an insanely good weapon. They pair very well together, but
yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of like a situation in Pokemon where like they have so much synergy that you can slot so many things in those last 2 slots. And it's just a question of what kind of creativity people are going to do, or if maybe they're going to try and replace the bucket in that slot. Because I'm starting to become one of the believers that pen is the least replaceable weapon in the game, unless you find like a really good case to add like Rapid Pro or Edit. Because like everyone agrees, Rapid Pro is amazing, and but we haven't seen it do anything because it's so hard to play, and also like the cooler output on it's hard to keep up. And it's one of those weapons I'm hoping we see more of soon because it's it's a cool weapon.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I know some people have been running what like the red dapples with it, but that's mostly in the East, not over here in the West. I haven't seen a single dapple player, and then every time I look at an area cup like team comp graphic, I see like 8 dapples, and I'm like, whoa.
I'm not a dapple believer myself, but I cannot deny the dapples are here.
Yeah.
Like, whether they are good or not does not matter. The dapples have invaded.
It's genuinely culture shock not seeing it over here and then seeing it everywhere. Like over there.
Because I've been like, I've just been looking at JP graphics. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just our area cup, nothing to see. And I'm like, just dapples. I'm like, what? Sorry.
It's not just one team either. It's a lot of them. Like,
I know dapples. The dapple players are cooking. I don't know what they're cooking. I don't know if that stuff's edible or not, but they are indeed in the kitchen, and they are serving up something.
Yeah, they are serving up something for sure.
I mean, it's working. I may not be a dapple believer, but I cannot deny what works.
Yeah, and I also wanted to highlight real quick, like specifically the top 2, because y'all mentioned the some of the more unique comps from these 2, but like, wow, these 2 went at it like a lot. Just looking at this, I should probably zoom in further for anybody else, but like, yeah, they went up against each other a lot. They played how many games here? 4, 3. How much is that? Like 12 or 11? Sorry.
Bracket reset, more games.
Yeah.
bracket reset too.
Yeah, I also do know EU is one of those regions where you're more likely to see people comfort pick over meta pick, which it's always nice to see good comfort picks.
Yeah.
And also, it's just, we get to see a lot more weapons potential from those kind of sets because we get to see more things we're not used to seeing. Like, I know the Ink Brush Nouveau has been brought up a lot, but like the Missile Paintbrush, the Vanilla Octa, which we don't see much. Like, weapons like that, we don't see much in NA. So it's nice to get to see them perform at such a high level. And I kind of wish there was more events where we could see those, but you don't really see as many one-tricks these days.
Yeah, that's true.
At like higher levels. Though I do think with these new additions to the game in 10.0, kind of allow for a lot of those one-tricks to slot on the comps better. So maybe we're going to start seeing it because one thing of note is that we're starting to see it like it's more teams that are performing in events, not pickups, which I personally think is healthy for the game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the people who won are like mostly a team plus JP guy that was there.
Yeah, that's true.
And like even Area Cup, for example, like the guys who are winning are just the same guys. So it's looking like we're kind of moving towards a more team-based thing finally, which. And, you know, team-based environments means instead of having to just play good stuff, you play comps you build, which means we get to see more fun weapons. Like, I don't know. A lot of the potential weapons get to start showing up. And, you know, those are always fun to watch.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we still see swapping around teams, as y'all can tell from this roster. I mean, Noah and Goss were playing together not too long ago, and then Ray swapping sides. What the heck, you know?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see like consistent groups playing together, because like it's a lot easier to root for a group you know versus 4 random people randomly playing together. You know, like I kind of miss that, and I'm kind of hoping the way the meta's forming kind of encourages teams again, instead of just 4 good players with 4 good weapons. Which, if a lot of the more recent events are showing anything, we're kind of moving away from that kind of way of playing, and more so play like with people you've already played with, because player synergy seems to be a lot more important than it was prior to 10.0.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think that like there's been a lot more. Well, I don't know. I can't speak too much towards meta, but I think, especially at least on the competitive structure side, like you could definitely see there's a lot more to play for and to practice for as like a team. And I could only imagine with all the new weapons, they've encouraged a lot more requirement for team synergy. And like you can't just run a default comp that's been played for forever. It's like what you said, certain weapons kind of require more people to specialize and then have teams that work around that weapon.
Yeah, it's also like things like F Pro, for example, which, dear God, I'm going to bring F Pro a lot, but like that weapon specifically, you need to play around it. You need to the F Pro needs to understand when their teammates want to move up, and the teammates have to understand when the F Pro wants you to move up. Because if you don't move up when those missiles come out, then you know,
nothing happens.
Like some of the plays we saw in Grands would not have happened if they didn't know when to move up when Gauss missiled. It's like, yeah, you can call it out, but wouldn't it be better if you just understand how your F Pro plays? If your F Pro understands what you as the Slayer are looking for, they could just better play off you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that makes sense a lot. I mean, I'm sure for some people, like, you know, some people don't know how to play with missiles. It's been a while. Either it's muscle memory and they need to get back into it, they're rusty, or, you know, they've probably never played with missiles. There's some Splatoon 3 onlys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They never had to sit through missiles. I mean, I guess
Splatoon 2 players like having a nightmare hearing the missile sound effect.
It's so funny seeing how many people complained about the shake. I was like, wow, there's either you guys forgot how bad the shaking was all the time, or you've never experienced actually having missiles be like a consistent factor in the game.
What do you mean you're not used to your entire screen vibrating the entire game? God. Yeah, no, missiles being back is both nice and a little annoying, because like a lot of this old standard comps kind of can't do their thing as reliably, which thank God those comps are too reliable thanks to missiles. But dear God, I do not miss hearing that noise. As someone, as Missiles' #1 hater from Splatoon 2, I ran enough bomb defense to face tank missiles, and I still hated them.
Yeah, that's...
And like, we're in a game where you don't have an ability perk that lets you face tank them.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know, there's no more special defense as well, bundled in with your bomb defense. So
yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
it's self-resistance up.
Yeah, and I'm curious to like ask you guys. I want to know, like, especially because it has been a topic, especially we're just seeing a lot of top level. I've seen a lot of conversation about it on like different social media platforms and whatnot. Like, I'm curious as to like what you guys think. Like, is it missiles has always been good, and it's people are finally waking up to that, and maybe more missile weapons are going to be played, or is this just like a Frozen Pro thing? Like, is this just people like comfort food Frozen Pro, and because that's getting more use, we're incidentally seeing missiles? Like, is this just because Pro finally has a good kit that people actually like and it happens to have missiles, or is this like a missiles has always been good, it's finally just been unlocked?
I'm gonna say the same thing I said to my girlfriend about this. If you're so in the missile weapons, you have to eat either a roasted chicken that's well seasoned or a pile of dog shit. I'm eating the chicken every time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, the missile weapons are just either so weak or can't output missiles safely. Like, I'm sorry to the 3 Vtuber players out there. Me and another player tried to make your weapon work. We tried. It was hell. And like, I know there was talk about Wiper Deco back when it dropped because, you know, it can output missiles. But the problem is that weapon gets locked out so easily, you can stop it from missiling. And Flingza's too passive. Pro is this weird amalgamation of the weapon's not that good, but it's just good enough to remind people how broken missiles are.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Like Pro on its Pro without missiles we would have never seen this weapon played in tournament. But you give that thing missiles, and oh my god. Like, we've seen the developers so scared to give a lot of weapons missiles. And the fact that they're resorting to giving it to weaker main weapons that rely on their kits, and like kind of shows like just how strong this special is. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
This is the same special that came into the meta to stop CJet. For those who didn't play Splatoon 2, there are Splatoon 2 players to this day who still have nightmares of the Stingray noise. That it was the most evil special ever conceived in a Splatoon game, and the developers literally stated they messed up. Like, there is developer regret, and missiles were literally brought into the meta to stop that behemoth.
Yeah, I had so much fun abusing it.
I don't miss Stingray. If I ever hear Stingray again, I'm gonna scream. Like, actually.
It wasn't fun in Salmon Run, though, I will say.
Oh, in Salmon it was fun. But also, I would still get terrors because I'd hear Stingray and I'm like, no.
Not again.
Yeah.
The war flashbacks of Siege. God. Like,
the question of if a special is like, you know, like a sleeper pick, or if it's, you know, not that good, but then all of a sudden becomes good, it's interesting. Because a lot of what makes a special good is the main weapons that have it. Like, we talked about how Flingza, like, a bit passive, and then at the mid-range it just doesn't really do the damage or spacing control that we really want. It's good at absorbing people, like one-shotting people that walk into it. But when it's like, okay, I'm a swasher, I want to move up against that guy, Flingza help me. It's like, okay, I'll throw 40 damage for you every second. Have fun. It's not really like that great.
Yeah.
Pro, on the other hand,
you keep going. I'll say after.
Pro, on the other hand, like, as we we're saying, like, it's compared to like Squeezer, S-Blast, Swasher, like, it's not that crazy, but the combos work really well. It has enough paint output to where guns like Mint can still function if it's on the team, and just a more paint flexible gun like a Swasher can still function quite well. The 45 damage is absolutely insane. Like, a single bullet from Pro combos with literally everything right now. Like, it's just actually skokey stupid. But
yeah,
the mix
Nova players
of 190 missiles
right now. Nova players not comboing off Pro.
It's
Sorry,
so sad. Like, if you don't combo with Pro, that's like a self-reflection moment. It's like, what did I do wrong? But the combination of just good enough stats with a special that works with literally everything right now, legitimately everything that's good, asterisk, and it's 190, so you get enough of them. It's that combination that's very, very, it's just, it turns missile into a beast.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, on the topic of our did missiles just become good? The answer is easily no. And you want to know how we know this? Introducing this game's first meta of Splash Machine Sword Flingza. I never want to play that meta again.
12 missiles a game.
Oh my god. Flingza was the most impenetrable wall ever. That thing puts a mine in front of it, and it's like, all right, you approach me. And if you don't approach me fast enough, I'm going to missile you. And the splash is going to crab you. And the machine is going to hit you because it had fat hitboxes. And Sword is like the most cocaine weapon ever introduced into this game. That's only flaw is that it's nearly impossible to execute on. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
And throughout all those three weapons, missiles were there. Which, the fact that Flingza only fell off because the main weapon could no longer compete should give you an idea of just how insanely broken missiles are.
Okay, I see. So it's definitely a situation where, you know, missiles were just lurking. crushing more on Hitting Badass. It just had like really horrible weapons to go along with it. But now we gave it one good weapon, and everyone's like, it's time to get missiles back on.
It's over.
It's so over.
I wouldn't call them all horrible. I just think it was anti-synergetic for some of them. AKA, why did Wiper get missile? Like, the sneaky, stealthy weapon got missile beacon. I don't understand. Like, I understand these developers are new to Splatoon. Why did we give it the Sploosh kit? Like, the S2 Sploosh Neo kit. Like, we already saw it didn't work. Why did we do it again?
True. That definitely makes sense. And yeah.
Yeah. So... Also, don't worry, guys. Now that missiles are balanced, we're getting missile 52 next patch. Aren't you happy?
Oh, don't say that.
Aren't you ready for first mob missile 52, gal?
Oh, I don't want to go.
Aren't you excited to get burst bombed by 52 gal? The weapon that kills you in 12 frames? Which is faster than you could input any button, by the way?
Just give it Miss Booyah Bomb.
I swear to God, if it actually happens now, I'm gonna have people DMing me and be like, you cursed us into existence. Guys, I'm sorry. This happened last time I talked about armor. I'm sorry if it happens again.
Wait, you might be summoning a spell.
I said this in SQ with Junior. I'm like, yeah, armor's gonna ruin the game. I was right. Oh God, I just cursed 52 to get missiles.
Oh.
That would be funny. I'm not gonna lie, that would be funny.
Bro, I'm sorry. You might have to go to McDonald's and start working there. I think I'm 52 is coming.
Oh my gosh.
He's looking for some employees right now.
Oh my gosh. But yeah.
No, we do not need 52 to come back. Oh God.
Absolutely not.
52 with Booyah was a mistake.
I mean, people still run it. You know, I think it's at a spot where it's fine. It's fine. We don't need it. We don't need it to run over everything.
It's fine, but it's a healthy kind of fine right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we didn't give 52 an entry tool. Do not give it an entry tool. Oh God, never give that thing an entry tool ever again.
Never. Please no. But yeah, I'm curious to looking more in the results overall, right, of this event. How do we feel about, like, you know, just generally, do we feel like ITZ or In the Zone 44 really says anything too much about, like, you know, the state of a lot of these things? Or do we feel like, you know, even if there were slight upsets of like one seed or anything, we didn't really see anything crazy, like no breakout performances or anything? I'm curious to know what y'all think in terms of that.
I mentioned this before. So go on ahead. Okay, but yeah, I mentioned this before, like, but I said like that I'm really excited for like what Top Level has in store for the future, because like to reference another thing that happened, Barnacle Bash, the previous one before, not this upcoming one, the Barnacle Bash, like, that had Jordan, Gray, and Jared on like one team versus Hypernova. Hypernova actually ended up upsetting them. They took them to a game 5 and they upset them. So that is something that like I'm like more so excited about seeing like from Top Level in the future, because like if like results like that can happen, like honestly, like I think like anyone can be like a top player in the future, and like this is like slowly just starting to happen. Like the gap is just slowly starting to close, and like we see that now with like Goss's pickup, which ended up beating Milky Way plus Gray. So I'm more excited to see like what Top Level has in store for the future, because I think the gap is slowly just starting to close.
Yeah. Personally, I've been of opinion like the reason why we haven't been seeing a lot more people moving up is because to get to that level, you need to learn team play and you need a team, right? And finally, now that we're back to a meta that encourages team play, hopefully, we're going to see a lot more people develop that skill faster and, well, more people to watch, you know? Just more perspectives, more stories to follow. And the scene's been in need of teams to follow, in my opinion. And once we get those, you know, we're going to have our storylines to follow. We're going to have their teams to root for. We're going to be able to start more seeing those upsets because we're going to know, like, this group, this is like a consistent group. We know what they do, and we can more easily like compare people and how they perform and all that. Like, I just think it'd be nice to have that again, and I think we're starting to move to that direction from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So, like, I would definitely keep an eye on like some of the teams that got upset, just purely because like I just want to see more from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, it was mostly like most of the surprise quote unquote stuff happened mostly in between like the top four. Like, oh, this person got one place higher than I thought they wouldn't have, otherwise. Like, specifically Gray, losing his streak. I think he posted about it on Blue Sky and Twitter.
It was a crazy streak.
Yeah, a crazy streak. And then like a day or two later, like he does this. He fills in for the Milky Way pick, or for Milky Way, because I guess they didn't have their fourth. And then they just second place, and it's like, and then I wish I could pull up the tweet right now, but then he was just like, "This is where I belong," and it was like the garbage can in the lava.
Yeah.
I was like, no, dude. It was a Mickey Mouse loss. Not really. ITC is very competitive, but whatever to keep your mental up, right?
Yeah. At least I do want to like talk a bit about the like indications for the meta. We do still have to understand that looking at this one, the bracket was very top heavy. Like, if you look at the top two, and then you only know the top two players, like, dang, this is really stacked in the zone. But once you start getting to like third place, where it's has like the group with Phoenix, which is really stacked. But like there was like Mocha, Harshi, and that kid, which is like, those are strong players. But it's like it's almost like just like tiers and tiers and tiers, right? When it comes to like top level play, where it's like if the third place is like an FT win pickup, or like even like a Moonlight pickup at this point, right? Like, that's like, okay, wow, this is like super stacked. So it's a stacked event, but not like a major type of stacked. And also, at least when it comes to the brushes, the brush players themselves, that kid and Mia, those are ridiculously like dedicated brush players. Like, Mia also played one game of V-Splash against Volte's Carbon, and Mia has played V-Splash at times if like the pickup just like it doesn't seem fit to go splash or fit to go brush. But like, he did play mostly brush, thankfully. But like, still keeping in mind, it's like I wouldn't take the brushed up to heart, but I would more take the idea of, wow, the addition of the Ebb Pro, like Hidori is bringing up, but also the addition of the stickers Platana Stamper means that the pool of what can do well is higher. I think just that general idea is important to think about. And as we're going into stuff like Spot World Series, we could see some really good stuff.
Yeah. Also, another thing that I want to talk about weapon-wise, Splat beat the fraud allegations again.
Yeah.
People are like, damn, this weapon's going to fall off. It has more end lag. It has less ink tank. No, that thing still keeps performing. That thing is still a top 5 contender.
True.
Like, it wasn't startup lag like they did to Machine. Rest in peace, Machine. You will be missed. Splat is here to stay, and it has shown itself to be one of, if not the premier midline after Bucket. Dear God, like, Splat is starting. I wouldn't say it's catching up to Bucket, but like, it's putting up a fight with Stamper for like second best midline in the game. Like, if you need a midline that can kill, Splat is there to remind you it's one of the best weapons for a reason. And it's still up there, even after the nerfs, which were a lot less impactful than people thought they were going to be. Like, even outside of ITZ, like, every event I've seen in recent times, Splat is there. And it's nice to see that Blaster players can finally have a weapon they like, not get nerfed out of the game.
Yeah.
Once again, rest in peace, Range Blaster. You won't be missed. Screw that thing. I'm a Range Blaster hater.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like S-Blast. I'm not a Range Blaster liker.
Yeah, I mean, just even playing S-Blast in the range is more fun than range. I mean, I don't hate range, but it's more fun. Just because you do so much with it. I feel like the skill ceiling is definitely higher there. Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested to see where the meta goes from here in terms of that regard? Because I feel like you guys said, like there's so much. I mean, I'd hope so after 30 new weapons enter that there's more variety. But we're definitely seeing it, and it's like it's interesting to see it because I know the Japanese scene is definitely more heralded as like a scene as a scene that like experiments a lot more. So like Pastry said, going off that, just it's going to be very interesting seeing what they do with that. And in that same vein, I'm a little curious before moving off like ITZ, like what other like competitions and you said it was Midamiya, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they like a prominent player? Have they played a lot in like a lot of the JP scene, or I'm just curious.
Yeah, Midamiya is a very respected player. Not talked about too much, but he is one of the few brushes that regularly make high level, arguably top level content, and he's done a lot of stuff before. Like for example, Splash Go. He's won a Splash Go. If you guys don't know Splash Go, that's a big LAN. And the thing about LANs in Japan is tiny, meaning that there's a lot of top players that can easily go to LANs. So when there's a Splash Go, you're gonna see in the top eight of the best players in the game. And Midamiya went there with Lobster. It was like Lobster. I know they were fighting Kotaji and Kame-chan, I believe. Okay, two members of a group called Gugu. They were fighting those two, but it was a Splash Go a couple months back, and Midamiya won that thing. It was not easy to win that at all. Not easy at all. It was very, 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 very difficult land to win, and Midamiya took that. In general, he plays a few events, not like a crazy amount, but he will definitely show up. Oh. And I've seen him specifically play in the West a few times. Like for example, him and Luma didn't play, but Luma was on the team just like as a fifth. They've talked together. They played together before, so it makes sense to see him show up in ITZ.
It's crazy because like the events that like they did show up here. I'm looking at the results page. Let me zoom out a little bit, but it's just like it's first in everything, but it's like a Shark Tank Deep Waters and a Turnabout Suspect 2, which those are some pretty we keep an eye on those events because those are definitely like as per like our own internal rankings at Beep, it's like a B tier. I'd say they're pretty. They get some weekly warriors for sure out of them, but it's just crazy that those are the events that they chose, I guess, because it just feels like Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb in that regard. At least like
it's very like quite a jump.
Yeah, and in the zone is I would feel like definitely one of those bigger events where you're definitely going to see like top level activity, top level like yes from the West. So he still won it, so like that's still saying something. It's definitely a statement for sure. But yeah, it's pretty interesting and cool to see more Japanese players like try out Sendo Q. I wonder what their thoughts on it are. I wish I had somebody to translate, do an interview for every Japanese player that we've seen show up, because I think there was a team that won a Sendo Q season for
Fry Basket.
Yeah. Oh, and a Fry Basket as well. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about Fry Basket. Oh,
they were so crazy. I love the bridge. The JP players wanted money. It's like, wow, this tournament give money. I want money. We're gonna buy these guys. It was great.
The yen's down. We're winning USD. Hopping.
I think my favorite like overseas team I've ever watched is the Korean team, because I know the full story behind how that team formed, and I think it's hilarious. It is it is the funniest Splatoon story that I don't know if it'll ever be shared, because I can tell you right now, I cannot share the full extent of it. But all like the parts I can share are this was an Overwatch team who saw Splatoon and said, we can win that.
That's hilarious.
In their first year competing, they got to Worlds, so like in their credit, they did pretty damn good.
I've said
they were correct.
I've said it, and I think it's a little like crazy because people look at me funny, but if you think about it, like in some ways Splatoon is Nintendo's Overwatch. In a very weird way. So
I mean, each weapon is like a hero you pick. And like it is an objective shooter at the end of the day. Like
yeah, it's an objective.
The only thing they have to adjust to is the meta.
I like that
and
name for it instead of hero shooter. I've been looking for a name.
Yeah, like I've been told like a lot of weapons in this game are kind of just like pick your hero. Just there's a fuck ton of heroes, and you can pick multiple of any hero.
Yeah, you got the Reinhardt with like the Tenebra.
Yeah, if you think about it, that'd be funny if that's how they thought about it. It's like, holy crap, this is just Ryan.
Yeah, like,
let's take Reinhardt.
Reinhardt, but it loses the internet connection sometimes. Let's go. Damn, I can play the McDonald's. I'm fucked.
See, we need more. I'd like to see what the Korean meta, if there was more like Korean players who played Splatoon. I'd love to see how they would develop.
I don't know it exactly, but every time I hear about Korean meta, it sounds like they snorted 5 lines of cocaine before deciding
literally though, because you look at other games, you look at like games like League of Legends or Overwatch, and a lot of the time they're just like they're doing anything, especially in the ranked ladders. In the ranked ladders, they get crazy. There's
the Koreans.
It's similar to like the Japanese scene, and it's just like if we have both of those, like oh my gosh.
Yeah, from what I understand, the Korean meta, they don't really interact much outside, so they don't know what a tier list is. Basically,
really? Oh, shoot.
My favorite. Okay, so I think the best way to describe it is I heard one of the players say, "Tri-Stringer has to be one of the best weapons on the game. It's on the box of the game." That is the best quote I've ever heard. Next to "I love heavy."
Yo, they know something we don't. I'm telling you, they know something we don't.
That's the Overwatch speaking, like how Tracer's like the block, like the art for everything in Overwatch is like, okay, Tracer's top tier, so then
Tracer is top tier.
Leaving your weapon and like putting in the hours is one hell of a way to get good at the game. Like as long as your weapon can function and you're willing to put in the hours to like learn every minor little detail, you can put up one hell of a fight. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Those Korean players are feisty, and their comps look like 5 lines of cocaine just got snorted.
Next Splat World Series after this upcoming one, instead of Japan, we just do Korea next. We gotta investigate. We gotta bring them out outside.
Also, I'm saying Korean because I'm gonna be honest, I forgot which, and I don't want to offend like half of the entire population.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I've made the mistake once. I'm not ready to make that mistake a second time. Oh gosh.
That's fair. But yeah,
I am dumb. Okay, I forget things.
Yeah, that's completely fine. I'm dumb. I forget things too. But we can't forget.
I forget which one.
We can't forget about some upcoming events that are showing up that we're pretty excited for. We're gonna blitz through this a little quickly, just that way we could then talk about, because we were talking about international. I would have loved to segue perfectly into it, but before we do, I do want to talk about some upcoming events that are popping up that I think we should all have our eyes on. Let me just change the topic thing real quick. I'm sorry, my keyboard's very loud, but. Yeah, we have some upcoming events that are popping up, so definitely keep an eye on these ones. Oh my gosh, let me scroll down to it. Oh yeah, so we have the Gauntlet 3, number 3, which is a pretty high level invitational. Gauntlet's coming up. It's hosted by JJ. That's happening this Saturday. We have Barnacle Bash number 8, which is going for $100. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Also happening on the Saturday. Will the
Brush player show up again?
Yeah, exactly. Will the Brush player show up again?
Rush player's eyes are going green right now. He sees that money.
Right? $100 is on the line, right? Instead of for free with ITC, I'm telling you. And the last Barnacle Bash we saw was pretty interesting too. Oh, what was that mistake? Sorry.
I said Gray don't win it and give other people a chance. Yump said so.
Yump is tired of just sending Gray $25 every single time. But yeah, there's also Champions Cup number 1, also prized events happening this Sunday. It's more EU focused, but it's Sunday at 2 p.m. so Eastern, CEST or Central European Standard Time. That's gonna be like 8 p.m. So those are some events. Is Champions Cup number 1. I know it will have an English and a Spanish stream, so we're starting to see some interesting developments. We're seeing more multilingual streams coming out. I'd love to see more of that. I know people have been begging for an Area Cup, like either restream or like a casted like English version of it. That would be awesome. I would like to say, even if it's just taking the Japanese feed and talking over it. And then there's 2 lands. We were talking about lands earlier. There's 2 lands coming up this weekend with Sea Battle up in Seattle and Sunset Surge, I think in Arizona, right? I might be getting it wrong.
Yep.
Oh,
I know. I forget which one, but I know my friend Parachu is going to one of them.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Bro just came back from Toronto, went home, and you're like, yeah. Bro's not having fun with the community back in oh god.
Yeah, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some upcoming events. But a very big upcoming event that is coming up very soon is Splat World Series. And thank you to the people over at IPL. They've been dropping some team spotlights that have been coming up. And I know we like to give Pastry the unofficial name of, our... I've heard a lot of different things from the different hosts. I've heard like Japanese scene consultants. I've heard specialists, whatever it is. But I know you definitely have your finger on the pulse for that, Pastry. So I'm gonna pull up some of the videos from it. But could you tell us a little bit more about specifically these JP teams? I know some of the American teams have already been found. There's spotlights for Milky Way and Hypernova, but we also have Vanguard and
Hypernova. Let's go.
Yeah, Hypernova. Let's go. Vanguard and what was the 4th team that qualified out of Super Jump? I'm blanking.
Wasn't it PXG?
PXG, yes, of course. How could I forget? They just haven't gotten the team spotlight yet. The winners of the event, right? But yeah, I'm gonna start by playing the False Dream one. Could you tell us a little bit about this one, Pastry? Because I'm not too familiar with these teams.
Absolutely. False Dream. Ooh, this was they just made the trailer like today, right? Yeah, today. And it is a roster of absolute hitters. Takenoko is the squeezer player for the group. Wait, everything good, right? Hang on. Wait, my speakers got funny.
Oh, good. I put in 0.5 speed so that way you could like hear or like talk over. Yeah.
Perfect. Trying to view this here. Wait, it's showing up for me. But Takenoko. Squeezer One Trick has been playing Squeezer for a really long time. Usually nowadays, when it comes to that gun, players, it's like, okay, is Takenoko placing good? If yes, then Squeezer doing good. Like, for example, Area Cup Crown, when we saw Squeezer play second, people were like, oh, well, hey, Squeezer seems to be the Splat counter that the meta really needs. When Takenoko didn't really do anything, like the last couple Area Cups hasn't been playing too much, people would be like, Squeezer's not that good. So he is the dictator of if people think that main weapon is good. Multi-time top Area Cup placer, second Area Cup counter you talked about before, and yes, just an absolute demon when it comes to playing the Squeezer. Next on the roster of Fall Stream, we have Shuma. Ooh, Shuma. This kid is under 18.
Oh, really?
He has won.
He's a kid. The kid's a kid.
Yeah, he is literally a kid. He won for 2023. He won the elementary division for Koshien. There's an elementary division and there's a grown-up division. He won the elementary division.
Okay. Interesting. I thought you meant like elementary school. You had to be scared for a second.
Let's go. I didn't know there was a chance you didn't graduate, but hell yeah.
It's really funny, honestly. Shuma and Shuta, both really young shooter support players that are absolute demons on a stick. Shuta here, 3809 XP peak, absolutely insane. The tower control winner of the King's Cup, if you guys don't know, was an event that you have to qualify for on the league ladder, extraordinarily competitive to get into the top 8 that will then qualify for the modes. And then from there, you have to win that mode. So like basically, 4 qualifiers, you have to get in the top 8. From that top 8 of extraordinary stacked players, you have to win that event to get to the final invitational of the actual King's Cup. Shuma's group got won through the TC division. They won the TC division qualifier, and then they got second in the overall events, only losing to Egoist. Yeah. I'm pretty sure like the average competitive player has heard of Egoist at least to some level, even if they don't know much about Japanese Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think I've heard it floating around.
Oh my god, this player is Heck yeah. This player is absolutely stacked. So many accolades. 5-time Area Cup winner, has won multiple of the seasonal leagues. There's also something that is very Luti-like for Japanese Splatoon called Ink Wave. He won that twice. And in Splatoon 2, just to stack on top of it, he was also a high level slash in that game.
So specialist for sure. Loves that weapon for sure. That's really awesome.
His tag, for real. His tag even sounds like because like splash in Japanese is sharp marker, which is said like shapumaka. So shapuma, shuma, shapuma. It's kind of based on it.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, we kind of made a pun. That's
I think
cool.
bro like splash.
Right? A little bit. It's a little bit.
Just a smidge. But next we have Ko, and funnily enough, Ko did just win in the zone, so that is the reintroduction for a lot of Western players. Oh wow, this guy is a mechanical demon. Absolutely, multi-time Area Cup winner. Played at a high level in Splatoon 2 as well. For example, there is a massive. I'm talking massive here. I don't know if you can pull this up on the stream, but in Splatoon 2, there was an event called Meeting Cake. And specifically the Meeting Cake 2, which had like over 120 players, he played in that. Fun fact about that event, I'll try to pull up the tweet. I don't know if this is possible to do on stream. Just posted it. But in that event, there was 504 Japanese players and 1 United States player. And that United States player was Fuzzy. So it's just really funny to look at. There's just this massive wall of Japanese players, and then all of a sudden, hi, it's Fuzzy. But yeah, he played in high-level events like that in Splatoon 2 as well. So definitely a GOAT type player. And finally, Udobo. Udobo has been a strong pen for a while, but really starting to turn it up late into the game here. Udobo has the highest peak out of any Charger player with 4027 XP, which is it is extremely hard to get 4K. If you have 4K or even close to 4K, like Toto, for example, who won the most recent Area Cup as a 3960, you are seen as basically like a GOAT. So yeah, Area Cup winner, placed top in a seasonal challenge, also won. There's this event that no one really talks about that was extremely ridiculously stacked called Nawa Body Fest or just Turf War Fest. It's a little bit confusing of a name to translate because Turf War Fest just sounds like Splat Fest because it basically is. But was a very stacked tournament. Japan takes Turf War and specifically the seasonal challenges extremely seriously. So it might sound like a joke to us, but it's not to the most stacked region in the world. Won the A block for that, which is really good. Also top forward in a East versus West Japan Invitational that happened. It was similar to King's Cup, but not quite the same. It was basically like East Japan had a qualifier, West Japan had a qualifier. The best of the best who had to go to a second event there and then eventually be on live television and get to play. So top four for that, really impressive. Yeah. And was also, really, really cool stuff. And he was also an Area Cup crown run-up alongside Chuma. So ridiculous roster.
100% right. And what's the next one? I think we have Takoyaki Party here. I forget who's on this one. I got the links. I didn't look through it too much. Yeah, there's Rusu.
Yeah. Takoyaki Party is actually a returning roster from Area Cup Crown, a bit of that, sort of static team type thing forming. Unfortunately or fortunately, Tiramusu not on this roster. Tiramusu did play with Toto to win the most recent Area Cup on the team called Explosion, and they were pretty cool. But they kind of like Explosion has Ryukun, and I'm pretty sure Ryukun's gonna be in one of these teams for Splat Wars series, so like not really gonna work out the same. But still, Rusu. Ooh, this is a God Flex player. Whenever you hear about some weird as heck Area Cup weapon doing well, just check if it's Rusu. Bro's done it with Paintbrush Nouveau. Bro's done it with the Custom Junior, the Vanilla Swig, the Vanilla Undercover Brella. He plays the weird stuff that people talk about and see, wow, Japan plays weird stuff. He's like 50% of that.
Does Bro go for like the weapon random weapon select and be like, I'm gonna play that today?
That's funny.
In Splatoon 2, he plays third with a quad Dynamo pickup in Area Cup.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, bro is absolutely silly.
Okay.
Yeah. But he also there's a lot of other accolades he's done since Splatoon 2. Winning the Clan Blitz division for King's Cup, which he talked about, is really crazy. Placed first in the Final Fest for Splatoon 2, which sounds like that's cool. Splatfest, that's fun. It's hell. It's really bad, and it's really hard to do something like that. Won the Tokai area. If you guys don't know, basically how Koshien worked is there was different regions of qualifiers, different qualifiers across, like Tokyo, Tokai was talking about, for example, just a lot of different regions. And Risu was a part of the Tokai winning one, which is very difficult. Won Emerald Ocean Cup, which is a turf major, and in general, has a lot of experience with not only turf war, obviously, but all modes. He's really, really, really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how long should we start playing turf war?
Wait, what'd you say?
We should play turf war.
True. 100%. I hard agree. Oh.
We won't kill anybody every once in a while.
Yo, anyone down to help me crowdfund a major that's just turf war?
I'm sure Nintendo will do that first.
I'll be the funner. I'll donate $1 million. We got Toto next, who this is my goat as a Mint player. I love this guy. Fun fact, he played Squeezer before. If you actually check Toto's Twitter handle, it's Botoruski. I made a tweet about this, but his tag is I like bottle. His profile picture on Twitter is him holding a Squeezer. If you pull up the last 5 months, he's not played that gun in literally months. When that thing got nerfed, he was just like, yeah, I'm just playing Mint now.
Are you sure he's talking about Squeezer when he says bottle? There is another kind of bottle, the kind you drink from.
It's really great. Fun fact, I tried to search up Takenoko earlier. I tried to search up Takenoko bottle, and I just got fucking white bottles. I was like, God damn it.
That's funny.
Bro is thirsty.
In total, I could see is one of those haunt propagators, those haunt merchants that people have been talking about from Area Cup.
No, bro's name is I Love Squeezer, so he baits you to think he's playing Squeezer, and then he whips out Mint Decapitator. He just plays 5e chess.
He's been a big part of the not only the Mint discussion, but also the haunt discussion. Him and Tiramisu, those fiends forcing players to play haunts. Now we saw Cole run haunt to the finals. It's all his fault. But also he won the online qualifier for Koshien, which you guys can imagine is a lot harder than potentially just like an individual division. Because like Tokai, you're gonna get some players from Tokai, you're gonna get some players down near Tokai. Online, anyone in Japan can just do that. So really hard. Multi-time Area Cup winner, he's won a lot of the more recent ones, and of course the most recent one. Top 4 in Area Cup Crown 2, beating Norishio, which was low-key, honestly high-key, a big part of people being like, Mint might just be better than Stamper. Him specifically beating Norishio's group, big part of that. And also won a seasonal challenge. Great player. From there, we got Kontan, who is, fun fact, another Squeezer, now S-Fast player. A lot of the Squeezers are kind of just disappearing. Takenoko is basically like the last airbender when it comes to that kind of gun. But
the last airbender.
Yeah, I mean, Squeezer got nerfed, and like it's not just Squeezer getting nerfed, but like its competition got a lot better. So now it's a lot harder to justify it when a lot of its competitors are now just as, if not better than it. You really need that Squeezer pilot to, make Squeezer work. And Squeezer is one hell of a dedication. The aiming requirements, the knowledge that you're going to develop arthritis when you grow older.
Yeah.
pretty big commitment. And as someone with a parent with arthritis, that shit sucks.
I actually didn't learn till recently, despite hearing those comments, that I just didn't know that it was the first shot. So like this entire time, whenever I would get in like Salmon Run or just pick it up, I'm like, this isn't as long range as everyone talked about. And then I clicked one day recently. Yes. So I was like, wait a minute. Like my frontal lobe developed in that moment. I was like, wait a minute, that's what they're talking about. No one explains things, man.
No, don't worry. Elton is so good at explaining things, especially the part where Dynamo has no flaws.
Yeah,
I love that part.
Yeah,
it has none.
Sheldon's like,
honestly, we as a community need to agree that we need to deep fry Sheldon.
I agree. Let's write the petition. It's time. Here.
We know that. Okay, so before people say I'm murdering him, no, the shoe vendor in Splatoon 3 is deep fried because you have to be deep fried to work at that store, and he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
So why can't we deep fry Sheldon?
Arguably, it might be a form of torture.
Agreed. I never said I was being nice to Sheldon. I'm just saying we should deep fry him.
We gotta get that trending on Twitter. Hashtag deep fry Sheldon ASAP.
Deep fry Sheldon. Everyone is watching this.
Get it trending. All right, no. Get it trending.
Codes on here.
If you want to talk about this stream, hashtag deep fry Sheldon, everyone. Over them.
Yeah, he does have 38, 34 XP, which is really high. Also in Fest, he has a Fest power because in Japan people track Fest power again. Turf war, different environment, different culture when it comes to that. He got 2818 in a three-day event. Get 2800. That's pretty crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, he's won a seasonal challenge, so pretty stacked there. And finally, we have Okura. Okura is going to be one of the NA representatives, praying to God that if anyone can say that gun, please just let it be Okura. But has placed very well in area cups before, and also it's interesting. Okura has a mix of, he's more of a content creator than a player, but don't get it twisted. He is extremely good, top 4 in area cup crown. He may be more of a creator, but he's absolutely a fighter too.
It's nice seeing something besides pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ken is not happy to see more, but the people are.
The people are, exactly. It's like somebody, a fresh air, breath of relief.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we all complain about Penn, but it's NA's fault because that was not a JP development. That was an NA development.
Yeah. We could say we had something. That's some NA pride we have. We had something.
Don't worry, we created the summoning circle, which summons Satan themselves.
Literally.
We created Satan.
Created hell.
Have fun with the rest of the meta. We got Satan.
God, that's good. But I think the next team here would be Utopia. Utopia here. Utopia is really interesting because the majority of these players, they stream at times, but not really. For example, Cammy here, spelled as Kiamni, which is a little bit hard to say, but just Cammy. Just think of it as Cammy. Very, very, very solid bucket player. Peaked with 3,700 XP, also an area cup winner. Really difficult to do both of those things. Extremely difficult. Top 3 in a seasonal challenge as well, and also peaked top 13 when it comes to the Splatfest ladder. So clearly a solid bucket. May not be like the quote unquote god bucket that like people like to talk about in discussions, but don't get it twisted. Kiyomi, on a good day, he's gonna eat up. Next we have arguably the innovator of mints. We got Art, or Arto, but just call him Art. Just call him Art. He is pretty dang insane. Second in the King's Cup for Clan Blitz, the King's Cup Clan Blitz qualifier, losing to the Risu pickup that eventually went on to top 4 that event. But still extremely, extremely well done. Get second in events like that. Also won the C block when it comes to the Turf War Fest. Very impressive there. 60 to seasonal challenge, and yeah, just before Toto, there was Art. Arts walked so Toto could run, but they're both obviously really, really good players. Just
Bro made the shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My nails look like this, so her nails look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Art for men's. And Cammy
and the heart market
doesn't really.
Right?
Thankfully, Art is a reasonable fellow. He's not even dipped into the dark side. Thank God. Someone has to be insane. Haunt.
No, it says it right here, Haunt.
Oh!
Maybe they got it wrong.
Oh, my mistake. My mistake. Oh my God. Well,
he did dip into the dark side.
It's always Haunt. It's actually it's always
side. Merchants. Let's go.
I blame Art. It's all Art's fault. Always.
See, yeah, literally, the trailblazer, the Haunt merchant. I still don't understand it, but somebody will make a video about it someday, and I'll understand. But until that day, I will forever be confused.
We need the opening Gambit merchants. Come on, where are they?
There were. Wait, let me go back. I swear,
Melon Pioneers.
No, wait, it was somebody. I forgot. Somebody on the last team. Oh my gosh, no, I'm gonna look back. Yeah. Content runs like opening Gambit on S-Blast 91.
Yeah,
I was thinking of that. I'm like, there's real opening Gambit merchants here. It's like, what?
Opening Gambit Gaming, let's go.
And then I've seen Takenoko. I don't know if the video shows Takenoko running a OG, but he's definitely been an OG player as well. Which it's understandable, right? Squeezer, S-Blast, those guns just the reason why you pick them is you want them to go 12-3. Well, not 12-3, but like 12 and 12-3 in Squeezer's case, but like 12 and 7 in S-Blast's case. You want them to frag basically. So it's like, yeah, just run opening Gambit at that point. Like it makes sense. But next though on Utopia, we got Nidu playing the Zap for the team. Solid player. There's not too much content-wise about Nidu. It's similar to Kami in that case. But he did play second in the Clan Blitz King Cup qualifier. Extremely good. And, I'm excited to see some Zap gameplay, potentially. We might see some double core. I'd be very excited about that.
So there's an actual Zap player? No way. Someone wants to be a 9-to-5 warrior?
And
no, I've heard people call Zap the 9-to-5 weapon, and I kind of agree. you show up,
you punch in your coolers, run around.
Top cooler, you go home to your wife or husband, you give your kids some food, you tuck your kids in the bed, and you go back to work the next day, and you do it again.
That's funny.
Truly our night shift workers saving us once again. But it's still great. I'm so excited for Nidu to play Zap because surely they have a Zap, so they're not gonna have Pen, right? Anyways, Rubyton is the fourth player on Utopia playing the Sniper Rider 5H. We're never gonna be free from this gun. Even the Zap players are running kind of disappointed, dude. But 61 XP. Really good. Placed first in a seasonal challenge as well as being an Area Cup winner, and placed second in the Clams King Cup alongside Nidu. So very solid player.
No, what if we put our coolers next to each other?
You're making a forbidden drink. You're gonna make a super cooler.
Super cooler would be go crazy.
No, I'm thinking ahead of this. This heads up.
Erratic cooler.
God,
it's like those burger chains that people were talking about, like two guys in a dream. It's just two guys and two coolers for a soda pop chain.
Yeah,
two coolers in a dream.
I feel like in general, we see a lot of double cooler. Like we had an idea and they ran with it. They're like, you know what, good idea. Let's add another one in there.
Dude, double cooler is so. It's so interesting because there was one moment in history around the 8.0-ish, late 8.0-ish era, where double cooler was actually legitimately becoming pretty real. It was around the time of the East-West qualifiers as well, which you talked about earlier when it came to one of the earlier teams. But there was a group that ran double cooler with the Carbon and Squeezer, and the other side ran it with Roller/Carbon and Squeezer, and it was during an Area Cup. However, it kind of fell off immediately after. It's double core is this thing that just it sprouts up randomly, and then when it sprouts up, people are like, oh dang. But then it's people try it in scrims or they try it, in longer set environments, and it's okay, this is just not consistent. It has the speed of being able to consistently rush and create fights, but the retake feels so bad with double core, genuinely awful at times.
Yeah, and I guess that would make sense. It's a very acquired taste, if you will.
Yeah. Next, for the last group with a trailer currently, it's not the last, group totally. There's still going to be more trailers, but we have Dragon Rex. And similar to Takoyaki Party, this is another group that is returning from Area Cup Crown, and people really like what they run. Momo, to start this off. You could argue that this player is the GOAT's pen. There's some GOAT sniper players. It's Momo, Shelton. Shelton doesn't really play anymore, so a lot of people would just say it's Momo. And for great reason at that. 3890 XP. Really, really close to that 4K mark. 2800 in fast power peak as well, which is really good. But that's the winner of the Kings Cup Zones division, and ultimately got second in the overall tournament. Really, really, really impressive. Similar to the X rank ladder, Zones is just ridiculously competitive. It's more competitive than every other mode, even more than Turf War. Turf War has a lot of like specialized guys, but obviously not that many people play Turf War because there's no Turf War ranked ladder. But Zones, the most competitive mode, and winning the Kings Cup Zones event it's ridiculous. Also a multi-time Area Cup winner, and has won the Seafami draft LAN. Seafami was more of a casual LAN, but you do get a damn good trophy out of it. I'll see if I can pull up the trophy here. But this is a ridiculously good player. So it's taking too long. I'm just pulling the ratio.
Oh no, I was gonna actually fill in and say that like it seems very interesting, and I guess I'll save that question for after. But it seems like I think it's interesting still that like King Sub you said had a lot of qualification leading up to it, right? Like I think that's cool. I think that is cool. I can definitely see like why it matters a lot. In case for like anybody who doesn't really follow with like Area Cup beside or with the Japanese scene outside of like Area Cup, like King's Cup definitely seems like very interesting and like an actual grind to get through. And I can see why people get together to try and like actually like play in it and win through it. It's pretty good. I think that's interesting.
And also just for fun as well, he has all these S3 accolades. He also won a qualifier, getting first in one of the Splatoon 2 Koshien qualifiers.
Oh, okay.
Just because why not?
He was in the mood that day,
Yeah, just
like some sushi afterwards. He's got like a business meeting later. he might get a raise too.
Yeah.
Ooh. Good day.
He let me borrow his Lamborghini. Like, can't believe he's 6'1". Like,
bro just has everything. Bro can do anything.
Yeah, literally.
Can do anything.
Next up on Dragon Rex, this is a fan favorite. There is a lot of competitive players in the West, and maybe they don't know that many Japanese players, but they probably know Mauricio. This guy has been playing Splatoon Stamper since day one of Splatoon 3 and has dropped some of the craziest kill combinations of all time. He's also sponsored by Fennel, which is Fennel. Yeah. If you guys don't know, Fennel is a Japanese sponsor that is very well respected in a good amount of games, such as Pokemon Unite, for example. But they are just they are threats. They are threats. 2023 Koshien winner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this guy can do anything. But on top of that, on top of being one of the few sponsored players for this game, fun fact, he's sponsored both for, well, not anymore, but he was sponsored for both Splatoon and Paravox, which is just ridiculous. He played 2 games at a professional level at the same time. Multi-time Area Cup winner as well, peaking 4378 X power.
That's crazy.
My glorious in the reshoot.
His gameplay does most of the talking because you watch him. Stamper is known to be like really good at Stamper is one of the hardest to execute on weapons consistently, and it's mostly lower on tier lists because people are like, you cannot consistently execute this thing. This motherfucker's consistent on Stamper. Like the one thing you're not allowed to do as a Stamper player, and bro does it. It's like
so insane.
Yeah, exactly.
And if he has all these accolades with the Stamper, should he played a really technical, difficult weapon in Splatoon 2? He played the Carbon Deco.
I mean, it makes sense considering his playstyle. Like, Stamper is kind of just Carbon Deco, but you have more options. Like,
yeah, true.
Stamper really is you think you have it cornered, and it pulls out like a gun out of his hat. It's like, well, fuck.
Carbon Deco, but privileged, right?
Not for me.
But not for me. Yeah, literally.
But while people definitely respect Mauricio's gameplay, they absolutely do not respect his taste. Recently, Mauricio made a special tier list, and I think that's a great thing. It's really cool that top players, they put their minds together to try and teach the lesser players or even like inform other top players of like this is where the best of the best are. And for this tier list, I don't know if this could be pulled up, but he did something a little bit special where he rates how good every weapon is with Zipcaster. And as well as looking at all these other specials, but like basically his idea was like Carbon with Zip is this tier. Luna with Zip is this tier. He put Stamper with Zip in E tier compared to so just for reference, he put Inkvac, Wavebreaker, and Kraken Royale above that.
Unironically, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, same here.
This is for tournaments play.
Yeah, unironically.
Yeah, same.
So I don't know if there's been an Inkvac weapon that has won anything in the last year or so, but
I mean, you're
just
putting
gonna compare that to the amount of wins ton of Stamper has. So yeah,
Maybe
people have some funny opinions about his taste. But the next player on Dragon Rex here is Kotachi. This guy is oh my god. He is a vet. He is a vet. Playing the dualies for 7 years now, peak 4008 XP, has won the Area Cup offline, which was a special version of Area Cup that was, well, wow, it's called Area Cup offline. I wonder what makes it different. But he won that.
COVID.
Wait, is this the dually I'm thinking of? I think I might know this guy.
Good chance.
This guy looks like
He's a legacy player.
He looks like, is this a dually who looks like he's high as shit when he plays? Like he flies across the map?
I mean, the preview clip kind of does look like it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, like, bro, looks like he's flying. You're not swimming. You're fucking flying. What the fuck? I have never seen a player play that aggressive and live.
True.
And then he dies sometimes, but bro lives playing like that. I'm like, what? Like
truly, truly beautiful.
And like, oh yeah, you're just overextending. Nope, he's lit. He's alive. Okay, no.
Life, wipe out and everything.
Like, I think he's the I think if you are a dually player, watch this guy. Like, actually, he's the most insane dually player I have seen, like, ever. Like, no matter the game, I have never seen dualies play this. Whatever he's doing, I don't know. Bro is just flying, and he's not even running that much swim speed, if I remember correctly. He just goes because he feels like it.
He's running 0.3, or I guess like a singular sub.
Yeah, he's running 0.3 and he moves faster than people running pews. That's crazy. Like, I've heard so much about this guy because I don't look at much JP stuff. This dually player is the exception. Like, I'm pretty sure he's done a lot, but his gameplay speaks for itself. Like, damn, bro's crazy.
True. But speaking of the accolades, what are the accolades? I'm curious.
Absolutely. So, 4,000 AXP, extraordinarily highest peak out of any dually player. Has won an Area Cup, both offline and online as well. And he's been a high top level dually since Splatoon 2. Fun fact, there is a Wikipedia page for a lot of these players and the results, and you can see maybe their S2 results. A lot of times the Splatoon 3 results aren't kept track of too well. There's stuff like the King's Cup, for example, that's like covered like decently well, but you can see a lot of S2 things out there, and you can see, wow, this guy has been a grinder. He's won an Area Cup both in Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, which is really impressive, and you cannot sleep on a player like Kotachi. He will be, and it currently is a strong player and seems to be for a long time. Finally, to round out this divey duo of a Stamper one trick and a Dualies one trick, they decided to pair with an Inkbrush Nouveau one trick.
Yeah. Inkbrush Nouveau player was crazy.
Yeah. The third Inkbrush Nouveau player, well, actually, third brush player, second Inkbrush Nouveau we talked about today.
Yeah, this is the one team I've been keeping track of because of their fourth player, which I won't spoil. But dear God, this Inkbrush is just so good at enabling all three of the players to do their shit. Like,
yeah,
you just draw attention. It's like you're having a player enable such dangerous threats like Naratio and the dually player, and also the mysterious fourth player who we will see later.
Mm-hmm.
It's a surprise build that'll help us later.
Yeah, here. Kino-chan, or well, Kino. His tag is Kino Channel, but just call him Kino. It's Kino. It's easier that way. 3,700 XP, very, very, very solid. A lot of peak top fives in Spot Fest, which is very, very difficult to do. Plays second in Area Cup as the highest peak, which is very good. 10th in the Zones qualifier. Again, King's Cup Zones qualifier, extraordinarily stacked. So even if you don't qualify for the event directly, getting in that top 8, still getting 10th. That's your DivX plus at that point. Like, for reference, if like there are like DivX players that like got onto the ladder for this, they'd probably place like top 30 around there. So top 10 is just like a different level. And you know, he's been playing Brush since Splatoon 2. He's been a high level Brush, got 2,800 in S2, so very, very good.
Yeah. Wait, are there 4? Could I just not count? Started with Momo, right?
Wait, I think you're muted.
Oh,
I'm not muted.
hello.
Oh.
I did mute myself. My fault. My fault. Oh, but yeah, there were 4. I think that was the 4. Momo, Norishio, Bataji, and Kino.
Oh, you mentioned the pen? Oh, you did mention the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that pen.
Say your piece. Say your piece about the pen. I know you wanted to say something about the pen.
Oh my god. I've always been like an advocate of, I want to see more Pen players move up and be a main threat of the fight, because Pen is like known for its cooler output. What we need to talk about its real war crime. Its ability to kill things is probably the most insane of any charger ever. And I just watched that guy play, and it's like, damn, bro wants you dead on a stake. And like this is an assassin who's being paid money to kill you. You're not living.
Yeah, I mean, look, even just looking at this clip, right? Just like, normally you'd see a Pen in a way safer position, but like we're seeing like basically borderline frontline Pen, like you know, shredding this crab tank, trying to get the slosher here, or not the slosher, it was the explosher. Like, it's crazy work. And it's still in the front lines, like actually trying to take names and kick butt. Like, oh my gosh.
Because the big thing about it is because like, the Pen's in riskier positions, but number one, if they pull it off, they get so much value. And number two, because the Pen's being riskier, its teammates are a lot safer. So they're really just emphasizing enabling their teammates, which, dear God, there is so much like threat level on their team. And like you constantly have to be aware of like 4 big threats that are able to just kill you at all times. And if you deal with one, they're all just enabling each other anyways to do their thing. So it's just probably one of, if not the most aggressive comp out there right now. Yeah. In terms of how they're going to play it and how they've played. Like, if you want to see like the most brutal offense known to man, it's that. It's what they're doing. Like, I've heard other talks of kind of offensive comps. No, that is the premier offense if you want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you got an
Speed in the
Inkbrush.
flesh.
Yeah, you got Inkbrush, you got a Zipcaster, Stamper, you have what was the other one? Oh gosh, I'm
Dooley.
blanking. A Dooley, like you said, was flying around everywhere.
A Dooley that may as well have infinite dodge rolls the way they play, because oh my god.
and
it's like,
yeah, I was gonna say, and a pencil that's actually aggressive. Like,
oh my
crazy work.
It's a treat seeing aggressive Pen. Like, I'm not someone who enjoys watching most Pens play the game. I love watching this guy play. Like, I know a lot of people like watching Anchor for like what it does, but I personally like watching more aggressive things. And watching Pen do its magic up close is probably the most horrifying experience you will ever experience, realizing that weapon can do it. Like, Pen is known for its versatility, and we have a player showing it's even more versatile than we thought. Fun.
That thing's a slayer.
Exactly.
Congratulations. We live in Pen's world, and if Pen wishes for us not to exist, it will do it.
Exactly.
So slight correction about Norishio here. Norishio was sponsored by Fennel, not sponsored by Fennel anymore, but you know, really, really impressive to just get sponsored by a player in the first, or a group in the first place, and definitely groups like Fennel.
That's pretty huge for sure. But yeah. Those are all the Japanese teams. I mean, we also had trailers for Milky Way and Hypernova, but we cover them around here like often enough when we cover a lot of this stuff with the Western scene. We try to do both, so we want to, you know, dedicate a definitely a portion to like getting to know them. So, but if you do want to check them out, feel free to go check them out at IPL Splatoon on YouTube or Inkling Performance Labs on YouTube. Feel free to keep up with that. Feel free to follow them. Shout out to them for putting on the tournament and getting all this set up alongside with Area Cup. They've been doing amazing stuff over there. So if you want to check out those trailers, definitely do that. Or if you just want to look back at the trailers that we just saw, check that out. But I have actually a quick question before we sign off, because we are hitting towards that like 2-hour mark. How do the Japanese players qualify? I'm not sure if that was communicated at least to the Western scene. By chance, Pastry?
From what I remember hearing about, I do know there is a draft cup coming up. For the first 4, I believe these first 4 are basically just like invite based on like, these players are ridiculous or have already performed the other stuff. You guys want to get a group? Yeah, do it. Get a group. There is a drafts cup coming up with 4 of the GOATs of the game. And I'm not sure exactly how many players are going to qualify, but there is 4 teams. Actually, I would need to double check the team amount, but essentially there's going to be a drafts cup coming up. There's going to be some legacy GOATs. In general, all the players on it are higher top with JP players. And that's going to be a big part of who qualifies for the Splat World Series on the Japanese side.
Oh, okay. So let me find it, because I did see that. I think that's happening this weekend, correct? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong.
This weekend is, I know Area Cup is this weekend. Area Cup number 38? Yes, 38.
Oh, it's July 19th. So not this weekend, next week. Next week is the Area Cup draft as part of the 8th anniversary celebration of Splatoon 2. Wait, are they playing Splatoon 2?
Yo!
Hopefully not.
That'd be so funny. But yeah, I do see a lot of the names here. Let me pull it up on the stream so that way everyone can see it. This is we also reposted it on our socials, or specifically our Twitter, because Area Cup Global only has a Twitter, so check that out. Check out our socials. Not a plug. But yeah, there's a lot of popular names here, just from what I can tell. Like you said, Tiramisu earlier, even Mauricio is going to be here. Rusu, Lobster, we're even seeing Takenoko, Chocopero, rest in peace their run to 5K. Yeah, just a lot of names that I've seen like here and there, even some of the names we went over here. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. I think it's gonna be something to watch for sure, especially for people wanting to know how things are gonna play out before the actual event in August. Yeah. But with that being said, I think we have hit around that 2-hour mark. Once again, I just want to thank you all for coming on and representing VTubing in the scene. Hopefully this gets a lot more people to show up and start talking, becoming VTubers, or even getting into the Comp Splatoon scene if they are already VTubers. There is an upcoming planned event. I'm not sure if it's been announced, but there is something in store for VTubers and Splatoon coming up. So feel free to pulse on that.
If anybody wants help with any like getting into VTubing, like whether it's where to find like a model, like an art rig in like art in your price range, a rigger which is likely in your price range, like I know some really good places to both find. Also, if you need help setting up your model or anything related to that, like you can hit me up. I'm willing to help people like set up all that stuff.
And where can they find you to hit you up?
Live 2D. Where can they hit me up? There's multiple places. Where am I likely to respond? Either you can join my Discord server, which is linked on YouTube, Hitarisu. It's linked to my Twitch as well, which is also I go by Hitarisu everywhere. Like I'm on Twitch, Blue Sky, YouTube, Twitter. Not really active on Twitter, but you can find my links to where I am active elsewhere. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, just hit me up anywhere that isn't Twitter, because I get so many bots. I'm probably not going to notice you, but yeah, I'm definitely there to help people find options. And also, I know like this is something that I want to work towards. I want to create like a server for like helping people get into VTubing and also like the Splatoon VTube content creators to help like connect. I'm also including PNGtubers, but I'm sorry, I cannot help PNGtubers get their PNGtubers. I don't know how that works. I understand live 2D. And also, if you want to be if you also hate yourself, I can teach you how to rig your own model. I say hate yourself because it is a long process.
Yeah,
or if you're an artist who wants to make their own model, I can teach you all the steps to do it. Because I actually know like a bunch of places to help get tutorials on how to make models. I know the program that every professional VTube artist and model uses and all that, which is free, by the way. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And for Mystic, where can the people find you?
Well, you can actually, I actually have a website full of my socials. If you go to www.mystictactician.com, you can find a link to all my socials. But mostly you'll find me active on Blue Sky, Discord, and YouTube. On YouTube, I make a lot of Pokemon Black and White sound font remixes and also competitive Splatoon content as well. That is stuff that I do. Blue Sky, I post a lot of my thoughts, so you hear me ramble on there. And then Discord, I hang out in a lot of Discords, try and chat with people all the time. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can just DM me on there. Well, not YouTube because they phased that out of flipping existence. But other than that, yeah, you can DM me on Blue Sky or Discord because my DMs are always open. So feel free to if you have any questions about VTubing, wanting to get into it at all, feel free to do that and feel free to hit me up there.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, how about you, Pastry? Last but not least.
Yeah, so well, just a quick correction, and we'll talk about my socials here. There is actually no currently announced way of understanding who the remaining 4 Japanese teams will be. We actually don't know. There's likely some behind the scenes invitational or some behind the scenes inviting type stuff. It's you're really good, make a team. Good.
The back alley invitational.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's not the invitational. Invitational is indeed Splatoon 2. But at least for my socials here, we have a great amount of stuff. I have a YouTube channel where I do reviews and breakdowns for if a weapon's good, how to play a certain weapon, and helping understand there's a lot of questions when it comes to what's good, what's not good, what's falling off, what's the new play, and I cover a lot of that on my channel here. I actually talked about recently, we had a lot of discussion about the Inkbrush Nouveau. I talked about how good the Inkbrush Nouveau is currently, both solo and competitive play on there. So if you want to check out my YouTube channel, best place to check that out. Twitch, I do a mix of coaching. I do a mix of 8s, which you guys don't know are competitive matches. Anyone can sign up. You right here listening to this podcast, if you're in my Discord, you can sign up for my competitive matches to do twice a week and streamed on my Twitch. There is also my Twitter and my Blue Sky. I like to make little rambles there about, oh my God, Haunt. Why is Toto using Haunt? That's the place to check them out. And I've recently been making a little bit more stuff on TikTok. TikTok is gonna be a lot more highlight type stuff. You want to just see some silly stuff that happens on the stream.
But yeah, that's been Splat Chat episode 7. We will be here next week to talk about some of the stuff that's happened this weekend that's here to come, but in the past, because it'll be in the future. And we'll also be talking, getting hyped about the first Splat World Series Western Invitational and talking about our predictions on who will take those next 2 slots. But for now, stay tuned. Check out Broadcasting Esports Every Play wherever you find and do your social media. Feel free to subscribe, or check out more of our previous videos listed on our channel. But yeah, thanks for watching and thank you all for being here. We'll be signing out.
And where was the making out part of the stream, Dan?